Hello Internet. Today I'm going to be playing Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Kong Quest in 8K 60 FPS. You're probably thinking, how is this 8K and 60 FPS? This looks very pixelated and among other things. And yeah, it does. But if you check the resolution settings after this video is fully encoded, it should show it as 8K 60 FPS. So you're probably thinking, what are the benefits to even playing the game like this? Like, what are the benefits? And I play the game actually in 240p, but I use the magnifier tool. So all my pixels are all nice, sharp, and square. I can align things well where my mic is to the right side of the screen. The gameplay is more to the left side, but in the video it'll just be perfectly centered using Adobe Premiere Pro. And that allows me to make videos like this. And I do this using a program called Visual Pixel Perfect. It's a plugin that allows you to upscale gameplay in a nearest neighbor filter. If you don't know what a nearest neighbor filter is, basically when you upscale, there's all these different filters for how you can upscale. Some of the most popular ones are bilinear and nearest neighbor. Bilinear is what's used by default in Adobe Premiere Pro, and a lot of entertainment upscales with bilinear. I personally hate the bilinear upscales because it just makes everything blurrier. I would rather see things like, okay, if something was made, and like, let's just say something's made in 240p or 480p, I'd rather just see a pixelated image rather than them try to blur it and make it something it isn't. It's just, granted, a lot of old CRTs made things blurry, but that was a different effect. Like, it's very different to blur gameplay on a flat screen and actually play on a CRT. It's a completely different experience. The only thing I've tried that emulates a CRT well was on the 3DS. There's a port of Sonic 1 where you can play the game in 3D, and what's really cool about that version, it's probably my favorite version of the game, is that if you select the CRT mode, it's like actually seeing a CRT TV but in a handheld because of the 3D effect. It's really cool. I imagine on a new 3DS as opposed to 3DS XL that I have, that it probably would look better because the 3D was improved later on. But even on a 3DS XL, I really like how it looks. It just, and 240p, here's the thing, the screen size of the 3DS was 240p in height, so that works perfect for a lot of classic games. And a lot of these classic games aren't even necessarily 240p. Like, this game's actually 200, like, the total pixels in height for this game is actually 224 pixels. That's one of the reasons why I do the little branding style with the strawberry and emerald green. It's to fill up space where I can preserve, you know, the square pixels, but have something around it that actually looks good besides just, you know, a black bar on top and the bottom left and right. That just doesn't look as good. So yeah, one thing I like about this game is you can play as Dixie Kong. She's like Diddy, except slower, but floatier, and can, like, glide over stuff. Diddy's a faster character. Much faster character. Dixie Kong overall, I would say, is faster than Donkey Kong at the very least. That's the thing about Donkey Kong. He was kind of slow in the first game. Oh, well, I lost Diddy, but I just reclaimed him. I've played this game so many times. This is also one of my favorite games ever, so the fact I'm finally making a video about it, I think this was a perfect video to pick to explain how on earth I'm able to upscale all the gameplay the way I do in a video explanation. That's just more similar to the style of the content I was making earlier this year. I took a break from making videos largely because when I was doing cat videos, I kept having to constantly look at photos and videos of cats that I no longer own, and after a while, it was getting mentally hard on me to where it's like, yeah, initially the idea, I thought, oh, it'd be kind of nice to, like, you know, upload all this content out on my computer, but at the same time, it's just the fact I no longer own a lot of those cats. It's just, it's kind of hard. Some of them I don't own just because they died. I mean, like, some of them I don't own because I had to give them away. I mean, it's just hard. Like, but like, most of the video footage I have of cats I've owned are cats I no longer own because they either passed away or I had to rehome them. And that's difficult to deal with. When you try to save the life of cats, it's very easy to become overly attached to the animals you're protecting. And they'll be about the most appreciative thing in the world if you save them from a bad situation. Like, a lot of the cats I currently own would be dead if it weren't for me, which, you know, major financial sacrifice on my end, but, like, to try to take care of a lot of cats, but... I mean, everyone makes sacrifices in life. I don't really believe in the concept true love, but I do know I love my cats. And I think part of why I know I love my cats is because I'm probably willing to sacrifice more for them than anything else in my life. And, you know, there's a part of me that finds that not necessarily bad, but very outside the norm of, like, what's considered acceptable opinion. Like, it's acceptable opinion to be a humanist, whereas if you are more sympathetic to animals than human beings, you know, you're probably not going to have the best reputation. And some of the people who take their activism really far, like PETA, have developed a horrible reputation. But even a lot of people who are vegetarians and vegans hate PETA. Like, I hate PETA. I've been a vegetarian since the late 90s. I can say this right now. I hate PETA. I think much of what they've done is horrible. And to be more specific, other than, yeah, this company bad, is that there's a lot of animals that they claim they protect and then they ended up just euthanizing. Isn't that amazing? PETA has a reputation as being this organization cares a lot about animals, and then they literally euthanize. There we go. I was trying to get into a warp barrel. And then they decide to euthanize a bunch of animals they claim they were protecting. That could have potentially gone to homes. So yeah, I mean, so to me personally, the fact that PETA has the reputation is really unfortunate. Now imagine if PETA had the reputation of the PlayStation Vita. That would be weird, because PlayStation Vita, I feel like it had the potential of being the most successful handheld ever, but Sony just did some practices that were so anti-consumerist to kill the system. Like, the fact it doesn't accept SSD cards, that was honestly one of the biggest reasons I didn't bother with one, because I didn't want to deal with a proprietary format that was overpriced. See, here's the thing. When I was a kid, and I bought like an 8 megabyte memory card for the PlayStation 2 for about $15, back when $15 was worth a lot of money. It's like, you don't quite realize how little space that is when you're like 10 years old in the year like 1999. Nowadays, you know, I'm extremely aware of how little space that is. And to the point where I would not want to buy anything with that little amount of space on a proprietary format. And Sony just wouldn't evolve. So yeah, this video is turning into a ramble of a bunch of different things that are completely unrelated to each other. But, you know, that's the internet for you. I mean, people make a lot of random content that's not going to be entertaining to a mainstream audience, but to a niche can be interesting. Like, there's some content creators I watch on Twitch that get an average of like less than 100 views per stream, but even if the content isn't like the best content to ever exist on the internet. If you want to look for the best video content on the internet, go to YouTube, go to Newgrounds. Those are like the websites to go to if you're looking for like quality content that's user made. Or pay money for a more premium website. But in terms of free websites, I'd say YouTube and Newgrounds are the best ones in terms of finding content that's like quality and entertaining. Anyway, for free. Anyways, man, my thoughts are so totally sidetracked right now. So it's worth mentioning that I did a THC edible, so I'm kind of fucked up, but it motivated me to make this video. That's actually how I got back into making this style of video at one point earlier this year. One day I got high as fuck, decided to record a video talking about how Elon Musk ruined Twitter, and then I started just releasing a bunch of videos in that format. And I like that format. I think out of all the formats I've done for video content, I probably enjoy this format the most, where I just play a game I've played many times, play very old games, especially old games that have like a resolution of 240p, because if the original game was supposed to be in that resolution, then it doesn't really eat up that much space recording lossless quality. Like, recording lossless quality for 240p video isn't really that big of a deal. Like, honestly, if you were to record this game in lossy quality on a 1080p monitor in lossy quality, and then you compare that to playing this game in 240p using the magnifier in window mode to play this game, you know, at 240p, but it takes up much of your screen, and then record it in lossless quality and then upload to YouTube. The file size difference between those two, honestly, are probably not even that big unless your 1080p settings are just really shit. I have to say, there was at one point I consider this game potentially the best platformer ever made. And what really makes me not feel that way more than anything else is Ratley's controls. See, at least in this level, I don't have to use Ratley at all. But there's some levels where he's required, and he just has the worst controls of any character. Like, you know, you have to constantly jump to really have any real momentum. Otherwise, you're super slow beyond belief. Oh, unless you hold the run button. But yeah, but still, like, compare that to how fast you normally are. Like, Dixie Kong's slower than Diddy. This is how fast Diddy Kong is. By the way, one thing that's weird about Diddy's cartwheel, it changed in this game. If you were to hit the D-pad and the cartwheel button at the same time, it stops sometimes, like that. But one way it's more consistent, if I hold a direction and then press the run button, it'll just do that. Whereas DKC1 didn't do that. So they just improved controls for this game. It was used for the slow version, is for turning around. Clearly this is not a speedrun video, but you know, it's just me playing this game. By the way, in the description, I will mention the total file size of the lossless file of this game. It's kind of funny, his tongue literally wiggles in the air. He has a lot of charm, though. Now, here's the thing. If this character was not really required for completing the game, and you could play every level in the game without this character, it wouldn't be such a big deal to me. But now some people say, well, the character is supposed to be somewhat handicapped in some of his attributes compared to the main characters. And considering this series has struggled with verticality, you know, this character in many ways actually makes levels that are more vertical, more interesting and fun. And I would agree with that, except the problem is the series never excelled in verticality. I don't think many people, when they think, oh, the best level in this entire game, they think this level. You know, they tend to think of different levels in this game when they think, oh yeah, no, this is like the best level in the whole game. I highly doubt there's a single person who feels that way about this level. Is this a good level? Yeah, no, it totally is. I like the way it's designed. But, is it like one of the best levels in the game? No. Not in my opinion. So what's interesting about the tokens is that they allow you to unlock stages in this game where DKC1 didn't have a system like this. I really like this system a lot. I feel like it gives people a lot more reason to actually go to special stages. I mean, really the only reward you get for getting a 101% is, actually, do I want to spoil that in this video for people who have never played DKC1? I'll just say this. This game gives you levels to unlock, new levels to play. Whereas the other game doesn't. If you get 101% or you get like the lowest possible percent. Oh, I forgot a bonus stage. It's been a while since I played this game. I initially thought if I were to upload this game, I would try to make this, you know, try-hard speedrun. I thought, you know, fuck it. I'll just upload a more casual run. Where I don't care about beating the game fast. I'm just playing the game the way how I feel like playing it. Forgot if I got that one or not. Nope. How convenient that the character's like right there again if you screwed up. No, I will admit a section like that's easier with a character. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Oh, you know what? I'll show my biggest problem with this character. So I just want you to look at the hurt box. See this enemy? Now just look very closely. Alright, see that? I want you to keep a looking. Oh. I could have sworn a speedrun once told me that the hitbox was fucked up. Okay, I'm gonna try to go slightly closer. Just barely closer. Alright, just barely closer. I'm gonna jump again. Okay. You know what? I take back what I said about Ratley. Literally hearing people complain about the hurtbox's character. If this hasn't... this character's sprite is literally into the character. Yeah. Yeah, like, look at this. Oh, yeah. I mean, could they be any more reasonable with their hurtbox? I'm gonna just go as slow as I can. Oh my god, I'm still this close. How is this glitched? I literally watched a speedrunner who once said that the hurtbox is glitched up. I take back my criticism of Ratley. I thought this character was worse designed. See, I'm someone who can admit that maybe I've been wrong at certain points in my life because I would hear certain information that was inaccurate, had that influence my own opinion. And then over time, through experience, realized, oh, no, this isn't actually accurate. Like, for example, when I was 18 years old, I had faith in our political system, where at 33 years old, I fully accept the wrong people will always be in power, and the politicians who run this country do not care about any of us. And that will never change unless people want a political revolution. But as I mentioned in my video, Why I Have No Hope for the Future, where I play the first Donkey Kong Country game, a political revolution is not going to happen in this game because people don't really want to sacrifice as much as they'd have to achieve a political revolution. So yeah, I like to play this old game from my childhood. This is not hard work. This is just some little nostalgic thing I like to do. reminds me of a time when life was simpler. Except I can play these games a lot better than I could as a kid. So because I kept playing these games. Like, that's why I'm good at video games. I just never stop. Some people, they stop being serious about games. I still just every year want to improve at games. It's just something I can't help it since I was like 7 years old. Every year I want to be better at video games than I was the previous year. I just can't help it. And I was 7 years old in 1997. So that was 26 years ago. Look at that. It just... My nose is practically going through his head. Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna go just slightly forward now. Alright. Okay. See, I finally did it, but like, I deserved it there. See, I mean, like, if anything, maybe the hurt boxes in this game aren't bad. A lot of people just suck it. Yes, look how close I was. I could have easily got... I'm amazed that didn't hurt me. Yeah, you know what, this game is... You know, when I go a long time without playing this game and I play shittier games, it just reminds me, oh yeah, no, this was a really quality product. This is like DKC1 except better. More stuff to it. Donkey Kong's replaced with a better character. No offense to Donkey Kong, I get it's its own series, but Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong are better characters than Donkey Kong. They're better at this game. I think their design is more interesting. DK's a gorilla, whereas like these are like monkeys. Very cute monkeys. Diddy Kong is so cute. I love his character design. There are times in my life I wonder, what if I had been a person who like quit video games a long time ago and just did different things with my life? I ask that question often, largely because I feel like my addiction to gaming had a very negative impact on my life in terms of a lot of my other goals. And it shows me that if I look at myself objectively, I love video games more than most things in life. I'm willing to sacrifice more for video games than a lot of other areas of my life. Also, I just got eggnog today. I'm going to enjoy some of that. I love eggnog. It's so good. It's so delicious. On the website Yesterdayland, on the Ed and Eddie board back in like December 2002, I used to make posts on that forum about my love of eggnog. And the only reason any evidence of that still exists is thanks to Wayback Machine. Wayback Machine is probably my favorite website on the internet because it just retrieves a lot of websites that are gone. And also makes it where a lot of old layouts I used to really enjoy from certain websites. There's a lot of websites I like still exist, but I don't like their current layout as much as their old layout. When websites were designed more for desktops and less designed for phone. I mean, I'm just saying this right now. I don't really care that much for modern web design because I'm not a fan of the smartphone. I love desktop computers, but I will probably never be a fan of smartphone at any point in my life. What I like about smartphones is mainly the camera and the note-taking ability and the fact it's a more effective alarm clock than any alarm clock I can buy on the market. I once had this obnoxiously loud alarm clock that would run away. Like, as soon as it wakes up, it will run away and you have to chase after it. I once bought an alarm clock like that. That's how desperate I was to get up in the morning. Because it's so hard for me to maintain a sleep schedule. I like how Diddy Kong just made Dixie cry. Yeah, Diddy Kong doesn't care. Diddy Kong really doesn't care if Dixie Kong cries. He couldn't care less because he's fucking Diddy Kong. He literally is positioned right now like that meme where some guy's at a funeral kind of giving a symbol with his hands. I forgot if it was like the peace symbol or what. I don't remember. But like, he's kind of reminds me of that. Imagine if someone were to do a ROM hack where instead of his one of his hands in the air just kind of being the way it is, it instead was like kind of doing like a gangster sign or a middle finger or a peace sign, or who knows. Maybe instead of suggesting this, I could actually, you know, not be a lazy fuck, and instead of playing other people's games, make my own fucking game. Like, you know, maybe do that in one of my own games where the duck animation, the character's like this, except he's giving the middle finger to the audience. But again, I'm a lazy fuck in terms of, like, I have extremely high ambitions in life, and yet my delivery has been disappointing to me in terms of, like, what I've wanted to accomplish and what I've been able to accomplish. And it gets frustrating. It gets really frustrating because I have nobody to blame but myself. I don't, like, look at other people and think, oh man, this person failed me in some capacity. Oh, a teacher didn't tell me the right information. Like, no, I look at my life and I think, okay, all the things I fucked up in, it's 100% my fault. Just any fuck up in my life, 100% my fault. I just full accountability. And that's one of the best things you can do, honestly, in life. If things go wrong, just to take full accountability and just assume, oh, I must have screwed up, and somehow, because if I didn't screw up, this wouldn't happen. I'm my own harshest critic. It's weird, it's like some people I've met in my lifetime, both online and in person. Some people think I'm a really good person, some people think I'm like a really awful human being. And, I think if I were to judge myself accurately, probably somewhere in between, because human beings are flawed. Like, I have no sense of superiority to other people, and some things in life I benefited from were largely just luck. I mean, don't get me wrong, I put a lot of hard work to some of the stuff I accomplished as well, but just in general, like, I feel like I've had more luck in my life compared to the average person. Just personally, I feel that way. And so I feel like the fact I'm not a way more successful person, I just feel like, well, it's all my fault. If I handled certain things better, I'd be more successful. That's just kind of my attitude about life. I recently started working at a grocery store because of the fact that the economy sucks, and so I just needed some extra money. And one thing that's interesting about going back to working at a grocery store is just how bad a lot of our food is. I mean, so I'm not going to mention the name of the grocery store I work at because I don't want to hurt them in any capacity, but like, one of the items I pulled out in the freezer today while doing thaw and sell is the most disgusting donuts I have ever seen in my life. I mean, the bottom of the packaging was like this gook that looked absolutely gross. You couldn't pay me $100 to eat it. I was literally that grossed out. And I pulled it out of the freezer like myself. I'm like, oh no, this item that had the least amount of handling possible for compared to like most items you'll see on the store shelf where customers touch things and this and that. It's like, oh yeah, no, this is literally one of the most disgusting things. The most disgusting thing I've ever pulled out of a freezer in my entire life. It's just that disgusting. And it was like, I regularly buy stuff from my own section, and a lot of the food tastes good and looks good. That did not only did that not look good, but it probably tastes disgusting. Because it just looks, like, it looks super, the donuts also look super dry and just ugh. But yeah. And so, with this in mind, all this information in mind, I'm probably not going to be uploading very often for a while. And that's kind of one of the reasons why with this video, I didn't want to make this video a video where I'm like, oh yeah, this. I want to kind of bury this information deep in a long form video, so the people who'd actually stick around and watch through the videos, are like who can actually tolerate listening to my rambling, they can actually they can get some of the juicy bits, I guess you could say. Basically, with working at my current job, I feel like how I behave on the internet is a bit of a liability. And so I kind of feel like I can't truly express myself online right now the way I normally do. And that's just how I personally feel, and it's kind of destroyed my incentive to upload frequently, because I don't feel like I can express myself in the way I want to. Now you may think, oh, I'm a coward and this and that, but I mean, here's the thing. I just want to ensure I can survive in this economy long term. And that means, hey, maybe for about a year of my life, I should just adopt the approach of do not whine like a jerk, shut the fuck up and work, and just live within that mindset for about a year or two until I'm like super economically stable to where if anybody tried to cancel me for whatever reason, if anybody tried to do anything to me, I'd be fine. So out of curiosity for the viewer watching this video, do you prefer my gameplay when I'm not talking at all? Or do you prefer my gameplay when I'm talking? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm just curious. Because I tend to play games better when I don't talk. But when I talk, I can talk about certain subjects that I normally wouldn't talk about in other video formats. Oh. For some reason, I forgot that one doesn't work. Oh well. I just took out the bonus barrel because I only killed Diddy. If I killed Dixie Kong, that would have sucked. Dixie Kong is so much better in this game than Diddy when it comes to just surviving. Like, if you don't care about going the fastest you can and you just want to tread through the game, Dixie's actually a pretty good option. I'd say honestly it's probably best if you're new to the game to first try to play it as mostly Diddy, and then if you die as Diddy and then you're stuck with Dixie, well, Dixie's a safer character. She can traverse the level, you know, easier than Diddy Kong. So it's like, let's just say you're playing as Dixie, you die but you still have Diddy, but you're not good at the game, you're brand new to it, and you're gonna play a character that's harder to play. Almost got hit by that thing. I love the way that they handle the backgrounds in the stage. It has kind of this cool... The parallax scrolling background just gives it kind of this cool, like, fake 3D that was so common back in this era of gaming in the, like, mid-90s. I love this game's art direction. I think there's a lot of aesthetic from the 90s was just very unique and kind of basic, but like shrunk into a low resolution like this just works out really well to where Even if the 3D wasn't that detailed, it didn't need to be for a 240p side-scrolling platform, or, I'm sorry, a 224p side-scrolling platform if you know, don't count the overscan that I cover with my branding style. So yeah, this is just a very rambly video because I got high off a THC edible, and I thought, fuck it, I'll just make a video, why not? Oh, that was stupid. Well, now I can't break that stage. You know, I'm killing myself, fuck it. I'm doing this on purpose. I don't want to have to replay the stage. So yeah, how cool a Parallax scrolling background looks. It looks cool to me, but, you know, I'm a millennial who's, like, overly nostalgic for games I played when I was a little child. So... as you can probably tell from watching this video, if I decide to even put this video online anytime soon, I might just... the coward in me is thinking about just, you know, I record this video, I export the video, and don't make it public until years later when I'm like in a better situation. But yeah, I don't know, just at this point in my life, I'm just going through hard times, and it's just, as a content creator, I find it hard to actually make the type of content I want to make, because I'm not in the best headspace, and a lot of things have just not gone as well for me as I expected. And I'm not the person who deals with disappointment the best in life. So but I also feel like I'm the only one to blame for much of went wrong in my life. Diddy Kong's the top G, not Andrew Tate. My god. I think it's really... I don't think there's better proof that social media is making people more toxic than the fact that Andrew Tate became the most Googled man in 2022. I don't think everything he says is bad. Like, some of his business advice is interesting. The most interesting thing I'll say about Andrew Tate, if I were to say something positive about a person I disagree with on most things, is that I find it very interesting that the relationship he had with his brother played a huge role into his success. Like, him and his brother basically worked together to be able to to have Andrew Tate accomplish, like, his goals in life. Like, there was a point where Tristan Tate was doing sales and just, you know, making I think around $1,000 per month, while Tate was like struggling with his, you know, his boxing career at the time. And if he didn't have the support of his brother, he might have actually never been successful. And I think that says a lot about the power of, like, siblings who actually get along versus siblings who don't get along at all. Like, I'm an only child. I don't have the asset or liability of a sibling. And I say that there's a lot of upsides to being an only child, but, like, when you hear stories like that, you know, you can't help but wonder, like, you know, let's just say there were, like, let's say there's, like, a couple of siblings. Like, one of the siblings has more charisma and talent in something in particular, and the other sibling, you know, they don't really currently have the skill set to kind of, like, accomplish something on their own, but with the help of their brother or sister or whatever, they could accomplish stuff. I don't know, I just find that interesting from the perspective of an only child, because, like, it just seems like for a lot of people, if they have a strong connection with a sibling, life is less difficult for a lot of people if they have that. I'm personally glad I'm an only child, but it is but I just find that interesting, how much that played a huge role into why that guy ever became so successful. And probably my favorite piece of advice I've actually seen him give was the idea that, you know, to escape the matrix, as he likes to say, you know, if two people, if not two people, if like 20 people, like, had enormous trust in each other and were, like, working together financially, they would be unstoppable under this system. And I find that very interesting. And considering how studies keep showing that people seem to have less friends than ever before, a lot of people are having more difficulty making friends as they get older, among other factors, it seems like the fact that society is struggling more socially, especially after the pandemic, it's had a very negative effect on a lot of people. I've tried to be a more social person this year compared to the first, compared to 2020, 2021, and 2022. I've made an effort to be more social, but it's kind of hard to get back in that because of the fact that if you live with a ton of chronic pain issues, sometimes I can have a lot of just trying to make sure that I'm somebody who's, like, ready and together to you know, do stuff, basically. Because there's a lot of days where I'm in so much pain, I literally want to do almost nothing with my life, but just relax, chill, just, like, fuck around, chill, and just not have that much structure. That makes sense. I think it's one of the reasons why I like this form of video, because I can just go on a long ramble while playing game. Because if I just uploaded a video to the internet where I just talk this long, there's no visuals or anything, almost nobody would watch it. The fact that I'm also doing a playthrough of this game, and I'm, like, you know, unlocking stuff, you get to see it in the best visual quality you could possibly find it on YouTube. I mean, the fact I'm willing to do stuff like that, that makes it wild. Like, that makes it not wild, but that makes it more, it gives it more hope of, like, it actually getting discovered in the algorithm. A lot of things are wild. Not what I'm doing right now isn't wild. Maybe my opinions to some people are wild. I'm gonna play this game so many times throughout my life. You know, I'm probably screwed up at the start of this video by saying this was going to be an 8K, because I just realized something. A playthrough of this game that's this long in 8K, it would take my computer like 3 days to encode the damn thing in 8K. I'm probably going to have to settle with 4K and just have to edit the beginning of the video. Or I could actually commit to 8K, and this is what happens when you just get lazy in life. You're like, I'm gonna look for a shortcut. No, you die now. You looked for a shortcut life, and now you're burning in lava. Congratulations, you just lost the game of life. But at least in this game, you get more than one life. In reality, the world we live under, we only get one life. So, you know, you fall into lava because you tried to take the easy way out of life, or you try to do a shortcut, and you just end up finding yourself burning to bits in lava. You only had one life to live, and you fucked it up so bad you're burning in lava. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to edit. I'm gonna probably have to call this video in 4K instead of playing Donkey Kong Country Diddy's Kong Quest in 4K 60 FPS. That would probably do better in the algorithm anyways. Oh dear, I'm gonna get hurt. I'm okay though. Still got Diddy. Still got Diddy. Yeah, Dixie Kong makes things easier, but if you don't know how to play the game as Diddy, there's a lot of stages where you're just screwed. Dixie Kong is honestly kind of like easy mode in this game. The fact they made Diddy Kong the harder, faster character, I like that design philosophy. Because it rewards skilled players for playing the faster character. Even if, like, a lot of the routes you have to do are just more dangerous. Oh, damn, I didn't get the DK coin. Now I have to play the whole level over. Oh well, I just took a sip of eggnog. What I might do actually is just take bits of this and just turn it into its own individual video. Or I could just do the whole long form thing like I tend to do. This is the way my mind works. I'll be thinking about all these different things all the time and then accomplish less than I want to. It's where a lot of people can't stand to be inside their own head. Like some people, if they were in a room with nothing to distract them for 15 minutes and they had the option to zap themselves, apparently in this one study, most men apparently would zap themselves. Most women wouldn't. Well, most men would. Which I think goes to show that a lot of the society treats men, on average, with less respect than the average woman. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that men are more likely to engage in violence. And part of that is society's fault. Like, we try to raise men to be tough and masculine, to where they're the type of dudes who are willing to fight for your country and this and that. And then, oh, what a surprise, these men actually are, like, more likely to resort to violence. Alright, so I'm gonna hurt myself. That's my little cheat. There we go. Don't even have to lose a life. You just automatically collected. So you screwed up, it's not that bad. Because you really needed, I should have had Rambi with me, but I didn't. This game is fun. I love this game. It's a fun game. Yeah, I just want to upload this whole thing as is. Plus, I just genuinely find it amazing, like, if somebody actually enjoys a video, like, the entirety of a long video where I'm just ranting and rambling about random stuff. Or I just talk about random stuff. Like, for example, my Why I Have No Hope for the Future video. Anyone who sat through the entirety of that, honestly, it impresses me that, like, I'm even able to... That's hard. To get that many people to actually even want to watch the entirety of a video like that. That's not an easy accomplishment. Like, it's difficult to talk and play a video game. Oh, and to make this more political, how about I talk about something recent? Let's see, the Speaker of the House got ousted recently. And I find it really amusing, personally, that even happened. I've never seen this happen ever in politics, to where it was a real shock to me, because I never thought something like this would happen. But, you know, we're just in this weird era of politics where politicians are doing things a little differently. People are playing the game of life differently. People are just experimenting, trying to figure out what options do they even have. That's not a good option. There's good options and bad options. Blasting a barrel right into a bee, that's never a good idea. I don't think anybody is stupid enough to do that in real life, but, you know, not a good idea. But yeah, I just have not been in the best headspace lately, and it's kind of hard to even upload frequently because of it. And the thing is, it's fine that things aren't like the best for me at the moment, because they're not bad. My life isn't bad. I just wish things were a bit better than what they are right now. Some aspects of my life are good, some aspects of my life suck, and that's fine. And I keep doing that, which is funny. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. Maybe my playstyle with this game is more insane when I have THC in me. Drugs are weird. Drugs are very weird. Life is weird. You know, since this is not a speedrun, and this is the first playthrough I've done in a while, I think what I'm going to do is just have it where I'm going to upload this in parts. For now. Part 1 will basically be me playing through the first 2 worlds, as well as this secret stage of the second world. That was stupid. The reason why I want to take a break too, and why I want to separate this multiple parts, I realized, you know, I want this to still be 8K, and the only way I can really do this is by separating in parts, otherwise the video would take forever to encode. Oh shit, I died. Oh well, I got all the stuff I needed. Except I forgot to beat the level, because I messed up. And I don't mind revisiting a game I haven't played in a while and playing worse at it than I normally do. I honestly, this video to me is less about the game and more just about my commentary. I mean, less about my overall gameplay, more about the commentary. Got me again. Oh cool, I escaped that pretty well. Oh well. Time to go to the secret level. Yeah, sure, he's threatening me if I don't pay up. I think these levels are interesting. They're a lot easier on BSNES than ZSNES. My god. Some of the barrels are glitched in ZSNES where these stages are like 1,000,000 times harder. One of these days, honestly, I should just make a video of me playing this game on ZSNES just to demonstrate how much fucking harder this game is there. First time I beat this game on ZSNES, there was one stage that literally took me over 50 tries because it was just so unbelievably hard with this glitch. That was another thing too. I think I didn't really mind too much about emulator glitches back then. You know, even if it didn't perfectly capture the original experience, sometimes the glitches just created some interesting challenges. And I think who I was when I was younger was just more up for certain challenges than I was later in life. I don't know. Yeah, I'm tacking myself too much in this video, but it's just... I'm just stressed out. I'm just stressed out. It's interesting how being the bonus stage in the secret levels gives you a DK coin. Because the Kremlin coins wouldn't make any sense because of the fact that the Kremlin coins are how you unlock these stages. So, I'm kind of busy at the moment. That's one thing I gotta say it's really frustrating about living at home is that if I want to do something like record a video, I could deal with interruptions like that. I don't know, I just feel like right now I'm just not living my best life, and it's a byproduct of me just not having as much money as I wish I did. I don't have as much money as I wish I did because I didn't make better decisions, and so I have nobody to blame but myself. I'm just depressed about it. Yeah, I'm just not in a good headspace. After this boss fight, it'll pretty much be the end of this part. I don't know, I'm just not happy. I think part of it is that I care more about freedom than almost anything else, and I've learned if you want freedom, you need an enormous amount of money. I don't know, I feel like much of what they kind of taught us in school was not good advice. But I mostly blame myself. You can't really expect the academic system to like tell you how to succeed. The system isn't designed for that. It was never designed to teach you how to succeed in life. It's to create a society full of obedient workers who follow the rules and serve. I mean, we kind of live in a crack the whip or get whipped economy. That's just my outlook on life. It's not the most positive outlook, but I don't really need to be overly positive. I think sometimes when certain aspects of society is really fucked up, it's best to just be honest about it rather than just sugarcoat things to be better than it is in reality. That's how we have honest discussion in this country. I think more people should just embrace being themselves rather than just be who other people want them to be. Like, yeah, everyone will have a vision of who they can be, and other people oftentimes will have a vision of who someone else could be, which is especially common in heterosexual monogamous relationships. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a super lovely day.